Here are 5 tips for mental tricks you can use to get through difficult sessions. I've used many of these over the years, from doing hard track sessions when I was a runner through to finishing my Everest on Zwift during lockdown. They're just things I found useful, so here we go. Number 1 is chunking. This is the most important trick that I use. I use it all the time. It's particularly good for really long, really seemingly insurmountable challenges that you take on. So this was perfect for Everesting. What chunking is breaking stuff down into manageable chunks. In Everest, when you think about the whole thing, seems completely ridiculous, insane. But when you chunk it down, you're like, I just have to bike up 6 times. And what you do is you just focus completely on what's in front of you. You just think on each rep as it comes, and you just have this laser-like focus on the rep that's in front of you. Chunking is also great, say with this Zwift session I did the other day, 4 sets of under-overs, which were each 8 minutes long. And it was full of lots of little painful 40-second reps. And when you think about how many little painful 40-second reps you had to go, it just completely destroys you mentally. But if you just think about each rep as it happens, each set, that really helps me out.
I've got 2 blocks of 8 to go. Just focus on the next 8, get through that.
Now go to the next set, and you just focus completely on what's in front of you, and it's amazing how well it works. One of the sessions I used to do when I was training for 10k on the track, and that was 20 times 200 meters with 200 meters on, 200 meters off. That destroyed me, that session. You just can't chunk that down easily because everything is just so perfectly symmetrical. There's no obvious point to do that. So this comes to the number 2. This one is, I guess it's distraction, relaxation. This actually comes from meditation and mindfulness, I think. But basically what I used to do is on every rep, I would focus on a part of my body to relax. And I would usually start from the top and go all the way down. So I would start with your forehead. So for one of the 200 meter sprints, instead of thinking about how much it hurt and how long I had to go, I'd think, all right, this rep, you're gonna think about relaxing all of those forehead wrinkles, relaxing your eyebrows. The next one, I would relax my eyes, stop squinting, your jaw, your shoulders with
Eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
Number 3, this is a tip I actually got off Paula Radcliffe. I remember her talking about this. This one works really well for super long, drawn out, painful efforts. And you basically just start at 100, visualize the numbers in front of you, and literally you just count down from 100 to 0 or whatever the number is. And that sounds so stupid and so boring, but it works really well. And it just distracts you and keeps your brain focused on anything other than the fact that you're hurting. Number 4 is visualization. Visualizing what you're trying to do for highly skill-based things is super important. And I think it actually has a role in cycling and endurance sports as well. But it's more along the lines of visualizing that you're doing really well and visualizing making it to the top of the climb, visualizing winning, visualizing just that feeling of feeling good and feeling strong. And it's amazing. I remember there was a point during my Everest where I felt absolutely terrible, and I just decided to tell myself that I wasn't feeling terrible. I was actually feeling good, and you just keep repeating that to yourself and imagining that you're not feeling bad, you're actually feeling really good. And even going to the point of cracking a bit of a smile, having a bit of a laugh. It's amazing how even just doing that can make you feel a bit better. Yeah, there's a lot of power in smiling and laughing. There's something about it also triggers parts of your brain. This one's quite good if a workout, particularly like a session or a workout where there's specific goals you're supposed to hit, specific numbers or power or times or something like that. When it's not going to plan, you're not really hitting the numbers well, it's really tempting to get dejected by that and actually just, throw the session, just can it, finish halfway through because you're not hitting the numbers, so it can't be worthwhile, it's a waste of time. What I've found is if you actually just stick it out, get through it, finish the session, don't hit the times, do it 10%, slower than you're supposed to, but actually finishing the session and getting through that mental battle and actually just ticking it off has a huge benefit. And I always thought that part of doing sessions is as much as it is training your aerobic and anaerobic systems, it's actually as much training your brain to hurt and training you to suffer. Those little wins, they add up to your confidence, knowing that you can actually push through stuff when it gets a bit grippy, when it gets a bit hard. Well, that's been some of my little mental tricks that I've used over the years and continue to use all the time. I hope some of them, you might be able to use or find useful. If you have any other tips that you use, distraction techniques, I'd be super keen to hear them, so chuck that in the comments. Cheers guys, alright, see you next time.